Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Ken Coleman, host of The Ken Coleman Show, where he talks about careers and jobs and getting into a workplace that you love every day, is my co-host today. Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author of the book, The Proximity Principle. Again, open phones at 888-825-5225. Now, we talk all the time, Ken, about the outgo side of the equation. Okay, what do you do first? What do you do second? Baby step 1, baby step 2, baby step 3. And we also talk about things that aren't predictable, which is what happens when you're in the thick of baby step 2 and find out you or your spouse are expecting. Or about the time you start working on your money stuff, you lose your job. Mm-hmm. That can be scary.
Very scary. And so what we do is on the Ken Coleman Show, we're coming at this big shovel thing. And the reality is when you all listen and watch the debt-free screams that happen every day on the Ramsey Show, you almost always see an increase in income during that time. And people go, hey, I got to go make more money to drive that gazelle intensity.
Sometimes it's part-time jobs, but sometimes they just wake up and go, you know, I need to talk to my boss about a raise.
Yeah.
Or I don't really like this place. I'm gonna go get a different job. And but the whole getting out of debt thing caused them to reassess their career.
That's exactly right. And doing what you love is possible. In fact, Dave, you can make the income you need and the impact you want. And that's what we talk about here at Ramsey Solutions. When we talk about work that matters here, that's an anthem that is on the big screen. If you come and like we've got hundreds of people in the lobby today, work that matters. This is the idea of doing something that you're good at, that you love, and that produces a result, the product or service, whatever the company does, that means something to you. And you can actually pursue that, and you can get there even if you are walking through the baby steps. And many times, it is that pursuit which makes you more money, which gets you out of debt faster.
So let's go to the other side of the equation. That's the maximized self-actualization side.
Yeah.
Let's go to the other side. Like, I need some money to eat because I lost my job.
That's right.
I need some money to eat right now.
That's right. So you want to focus on
just getting some money.
That's right. So here's what you do. You lock that into one part of that three-part equation. You go, what do I do really well? Think of those as power tools. When you show up to do a project at home, you want the best tools because you do the work more effectively, and that's what you have to offer the marketplace. You focus on, hey, I'm really gifted here. I've got some talent, and if I offer this talent or I make this talent sharper and I turn it into a premium tool, guess what? I'm going to get paid more. I'm going to have more opportunities, maybe even side hustles to make even more money. So when it's just, I need a better job to pay me more to get out of debt, focus on that talent part. That's what you were created to do because you're really good at it.
That's where you can make money quick.
Quick, right now.
And get started.
Right now.
Yeah, and get the wolf away from the door.
Then we can pivot. We get out of debt, and we go, okay, now I've been putting everything into my debt.
You start asking questions like, when can I start? When's the first paycheck?
That's exactly right.
Because I'm hungry right now.
That's right. And so what you have to focus on is what you bring to the marketplace that you do really well, because people will see that, and they will pay you for that. And then after we get out of debt, get that baby step 3 fully funded, now we can begin to look at what's the transition to do work that I really love that produces the results. So we're going to help you wherever you are on the journey. Big shovel, hey, let's get that shovel bigger so we get out of debt faster, live like no one else so that we can live, give, and work like no one else.
Yeah.
It's all tied together.
The hole that you're in is the mess that you've made, and we always call it the shovel to hole ratio.
That's exactly right.
I have $60,000 in debt, okay? I'll make $20,000 a year.
That's right.
Or I have $60,000 of debt and I make $200,000 a year. Oh, big shovel.
That's right.
Medium-sized hole.
Yeah.
Tiny shovel, big hole.
That's
right. I mean, the shovel to hole ratio will give you an indication of how quickly you're going to get out of debt, how quickly you can put these financial hard times behind you.
That's right.
And so we often say stuff like, you need a bigger shovel.
That's right. One of the ways to get that doesn't always mean leaving a career. you could just get promoted. That's stage 5 of my 7 stages to doing work you love. Stage 5 is get promoted. How do you get promoted? Well, you got to know your role, get really clear. When was the last time you had a conversation with your leader to say, what is expected of me? I want to win here. Help me understand how I can drive more results. Leaders don't get that conversation much. And you might be surprised at how they go, wow, that's awesome. Because if you're winning, folks, guess what? They're winning. And so get promoted. Hey, here's another thing. Develop some qualities. What are the most promotable qualities according to LinkedIn right now in 2021? You ready for this? Dave, it's adaptability. So, hey, you know what that means? That's a fancy multiple syllable word that basically means I can handle change. And as you know, change is hard for all of us. Why? Because change makes us confront the unknown, Dave.
Man, do not make me get another phone.
Right.
I have to learn all this crap over again.
Yeah.
And they just put new software on my dad blame computer this week, and it's just. I think I'm going to Office Space the thing only with a .45 caliber. Oh my God. I don't like change. I'm not promotable. I'm not adaptable. I hate this crap.
Right. That's right. And yet you're a CEO. How important is it?
I am adaptable. Except
I know you are.
When it comes to freaking technology.
Well, that's right. Your squares are different colors on his computer, folks.
Shut up.
Everybody say a prayer for Dave. He's struggling right now.
Just shut up.
But see, adaptability is a learnable skill. It's a muscle. Okay, wait a second. In this economy, with technology always advancing,
so I wonder,
adaptable people
does that
attractive.
Include the thing of I'll help with it even though it's not my job? Is that adaptability?
You better believe it.
Because it's, there was the old guy back in the 70s, there was a sitcom, and the guy would go, not my job, man. It's not my job.
That's right.
It's not my job.
That's right.
And I'm always amazed when I go in some business and you can't beg them to take your money.
Yeah.
And you're looking at 3 people standing there looking at you, and you're like, would you take my money?
That's
and
right.
it's like, it's not my job, man.
That's right.
I'm here to do something else. No, by God, you're here because of the money. Jeez.
Yeah.
It is your job.
Adaptability really is an attitude. I mean, we call it adaptability, but it really is an attitude that says, you know what? Change is a part of life. It's going to make me uncomfortable. It's a great book written on change, and that's Who Moved My Cheese. Fabulous book for anybody who wants to really develop this muscle. But adaptability is just one quality that makes you promotable. Here's another one, likability. How about just being more likable? How about reliability?
Don't look like you were weaned on a pickle.
That's right. Smile. You talk about this all the time. Hey,
if you're happy, notify your face.
Yeah, have a conversation with somebody. Hey, leaders, if you want to move up the leadership ladder, here's 2 questions. You ready for this one? Hey, talk to your people regularly and ask them these 2 questions. Number 1, how are you doing? And it's not the how you doing when we cross each other in the hallway that's a greeting and everybody just goes, great, and then we move on. It's sitting down with them on their desk intentionally or having a meeting with them going, hey, how you doing? How are the kids? How's everything going? How's everything going in the gig here? And that leads to the second question, which is, how can I help you win? You want to get promoted as a leader? Ask those 2 questions on a regular basis and watch your effectiveness as a leader and the impact you have on your people absolutely skyrocket. Because the first one's about connection. Dave, the second question is they trust you now and they will begin to tell you, hey, here's how you can help me win. And that's what leadership is all about.
So the idea is you can be shiny or you can be dull.
Yeah, you just
need to decide to be shiny.
Be shiny and watch the money come in.
Because people are like bass. They go after shiny stuff. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author of the book, The Proximity Principle, is my co-host today as we talk about your careers, your jobs, your life, and your money. Mark is with us in Casper, Wyoming. Hi, Mark. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. First of all, I wanted to thank both of you for faithfully following God's call on your life.
Well, thank you, sir.
Changing lives out here. Thank you.
It's kind of cheating, but it's good.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I'll get right to it. My mom went home to be with the Lord in April.
Oh, my goodness.
And so, yeah, it's still a little fresh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
She's a faithful servant of God and a wonderful mother, and I know exactly where she's at, and I look forward to seeing her again here soon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other side of it is she ended up graciously gifting me 20 acres with a small house on it. And it's just outside of this popular resort town here in Wyoming. Now, I understand that this is a wonderful gift, and I want to manage it well for the Lord. I understand that, this is God's property, and I want to make sure that I do the right thing. But, it's a big responsibility for me, biggest I've ever had, and I'm concerned because I think that we may be in a real estate bubble. So my question is, should I consider selling this property at what I perceive to be a high and reinvest the proceeds elsewhere, or should I start developing some sort of plan to generate a return on that property while it potentially appreciates in time?
Mm-hmm. Did she live in the house?
She did not.
Okay. You got any, other than the fact your mom just recently passed and left it to you, do you have any other emotional ties to the property?
It is where I grew up, so I do have, a bit of emotional tie to it. Yeah. I grew up in the old farmhouse.
That's not a bit. That's real. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, when you sell it, there's a little boy inside of you that's going to cry a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just, you need to say that out loud if you're going to sell it. The other thing is, the other time that little boy's going to cry is if you put a renter in there and they tear it up.
True.
It's really weird to have renters in the property that you once occupied. It's an emotional experience. I've done it many times, but the first time or two it caught me off guard, and I went, that was my little boy's bedroom, and now you put that crap in there. What is going on? It's like, it feels weird, So either way, you're going to face a little bit of that, and you need to be prepared for that. Real estate bubbles happen when something goes up and doesn't. And then obviously goes down because it went up too fast or went up faster than the marketplace would support. By and large in the U.S. right now, we are seeing tremendous real estate inflation. That is not a bubble. That's not going to come back down. The only time we've had a nationwide bubble where real estate went down nationwide in the last 100 years was 2008. One time it has happened in 100 years. So I do not think that nationwide bubble. Now, resorts, you said is near a resort town. Resorts have a problem in that they're more volatile than traditional housing and that kind of thing. So if the value that's placed on it right now is because of its proximity to the resort, that could bubble on you. That could dip later. So what do you want? Aside from the fact that you're afraid the property might be maxed out, what do you want to be? Do you want to be owning that or something else 10 years from today?
Okay. So 10 years from today, I would love to be able to go back and renovate the house and maybe live there. That's been a dream of mine, but I don't know realistically if I'm in a financial position to own. It's a trophy property.
What's it worth?
It's worth probably $1.5 million.
Okay.
Why do you feel you're not in a position to own it when it's been gifted to you?
Well, this is, I'm trying to get out of my own head and look at this. And the way I perceive it is if I had a bank account with $1.5 million in it, I make about $70,000 a year right now, but I work 60, 70 hours a week. Would I go and buy that trophy piece of property if I had $1.5 million.
Sure.
It
Answer's
doesn't
no.
have any real income on it.
Answer's
Right.
no.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think you're selling it. And I don't think that's unwise, but I think you can expect some sadness when you do. That's human nature, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is personal finance. So I think you're selling it, and you're going to reduce your hours, and you may use some of this money to do some career adjustment things if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
You may use some of this money to start a business. You may use some of this money to buy some property, and other property that is income producing, because this is not going to produce income with one little house on 20 acres of raw ground sufficient to justify $1.5 million investment. It's not an income property. It's not how it's designed. So my guess is you're going to end up doing a little bit of all of those things with this money and moving very, very slow with the money once you get it. But I'm with you. I'm okay selling a trophy property at this time of the market. It's not a bad time to do it at all, actually.
Yeah.
But it is emotional.
It is. And I was going to ask you, how does he square the emotion of this was a dream? This was a dream to go back and live in that home, but also square it with his mother gave him that as an inheritance. It's going to change his life dramatically and receive the gift from that standpoint. This is a life-changing sale.
And you know what enters into this in my mind, too, is his strong statement about his faith, his mom's faith, which means that his mom held the property probably with an open hand like he did. And he's learned that from her. And so he's not, he's not freaking out about this.
No.
That was all in his words, his word choice, his pausing. Everything was there. It was all indicated there. So he's got a calmness about this due to his faith. And his, I'm just a manager. I'm not an owner. I'm a steward.
Yes.
And I'm okay. What's the smart thing before the Lord?
Yeah.
What's God want me to do with this?
Yeah.
And you don't have to make a decision fast. There's nothing rushing you, but I think you're probably selling it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's such a life-changing opportunity.
Yeah.
And wow.
Good.
And receive that.
Yeah.
Don't feel guilty about that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah. Summer's almost here. It does not mean you can take a vacation from your money goals. I know the motivation to stay intense can go away sometimes, especially when you want that beach trip or all the fun things that come with summer. You can do this, though. It's about getting small wins with your money that lead to big results with your money over time, and that's exactly what you'll do with Ramsey Plus. Live like no one else so that later you can live and give like no one else. A Ramsey Plus membership gives you our best digital money courses, of course, including Financial Peace University, the tools that you need to keep moving forward, of course, including Every Dollar, Premium, the world's best budgeting app. Your goals are worth working for all year long. Stay motivated with a free trial of Ramsey Plus. Text TRIAL to 33789. Text TRIAL to 33789. So I think it's you make different decisions when you hold things the way that Mark was holding them. If you hold your career with an open hand instead of this tight-fisted, white-knuckling, if you hold a car, if you hold an investment, if you hold a business, an asset of any kind with an open hand, and say, gosh, I don't really own this, I'm just managing it for God, what is the best thing? It changes your decision-making paradigm, because if I'm managing something on your behalf, Ken, I'm a little bit more responsible sometimes than I might be if I was managing it for myself.
It's absolutely the case.
I feel the obligation to do a good job for you.
That's right.
And so as a person of faith, as a Christian, when you say, God owns it, I'm managing it for someone else, what do you want? You ask the owner what he wants to do with it. It's a whole different thing. And, so the heat and air goes out on your house. You go, hey, God, your heat and air's out, buddy.
I need a miracle. I like that approach.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Life is full of firsts. As the first first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Nicholas and Rebecca are in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Hey, guys, how are you?
We're good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. Welcome. Where do y'all live?
Gastonia, North Carolina, about 20 minutes from Charlotte.
Oh, fine. Good to have you guys. And all the way to Nashville to do a debt-free scream.
Yes, sir.
How much did you pay off?
$36,000.
Wow. And how long did this take?
14 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
About $50,000.
Good. What do y'all do for a living?
I got a new job. I work at Chick-fil-A.
Uh-huh.
I'm an elementary school teacher.
Oh, fun. What grade do you teach?
I teach first, but I'm moving to preschool this year, so
Aww.
it'll be sweet. They don't back talk.
So Rachel's oldest one was over at the house the other night, and I said, so you're going into first grade next year? And she said, no, Papa, I'm going into second grade. I said, no, baby, you're going into first grade. And she said, no, I'm going into second grade. She convinced me. And then she's not.
Right.
She was completely pulling my leg.
I like it.
She's like her mother, man. She can talk. Amazing. So that's a cute age, though. That's so fun. So $36,000 worth of debt. What was it?
$6,000 was credit card and $30,000 was student loans.
Okay. All right. How long y'all been married?
A year and 2 months.
Oh, like
Fresh.
14 months.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you get married and come home from the honeymoon and go, game on, we're getting out of debt.
Yep.
How did that happen? What got you so fired up?
Well, it was probably about 2019, that summer. We were engaged. My buddy's like, hey, we're doing this class at church. It's called Financial Peace. I'm like, what is that? Like, this is going to be weird. And we're like, all right, we'll do it. So in September is when we took it. And as soon as we watched it from day one, we were all out.
Wow. So that got you
actually
going.
took it twice.
Yeah, we actually took it twice.
That's not a bad thing.
No, the first time was in February of that year, and I was like, yes, let's do this. And I look over her, she's like, no.
I like you now.
The now part is
Yeah,
important
yeah.
in that sentence.
Yeah, hey, what did you not like? When you first took it, you were resistant. What was so tough for you?
I am a control freak. I like to be able to do what I want to do with my money, and it made me realize that this is what I want to do with my money.
Oh,
it's
okay.
God's money.
So we had to make it your idea. That's when you did it.
No.
I like it. That's real. That's good. I love that.
That's
Yes.
really good.
Yeah, you had to want to do it. Yeah, I don't blame you. I like that. That's smart. Very smart on your part. So what do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is? You did it.
Well, I listen to this every day. I've listened to it for the last couple years, and I hear all these different stories. But when I sat down with Rebecca when we first got married, I said, before we sit down, before we do our budget, before we talk about anything, we're going to give a full 10% to church. We're going to tithe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best thing we ever did. And along with budgeting, God has really blessed us. We've gotten things in the mail, unexpected things, and it's just really seen the progressive of how our life has been through marriage.
Mm-hmm. I get unexpected things in the mail too, but they're not the ones you can cash like a check. Yeah, that's fun. Look at you guys! I'm so proud of y'all. Well done, man. That's fun. It's a big deal. There is something about for those of us that are believers to begin to tithe a full 10% of your income to your local church. Mm-hmm. Something snaps inside of your spirit when you do that. That you just get things get loose. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was there a big challenge, or was there something that was really hard when you guys went all in on this?
The pandemic.
Oh, yeah. Hello. Yeah, there's that.
Oh, that.
Right.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
What was tough?
We
So-
got married. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
We got married the day the stay-at-home order started in our state. So we had to redo everything we thought we were going to do for our wedding. No
Wow.
honeymoon. We did it in his parents' backyard.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's been a journey. Just, they say finances is like a number one argument, but I felt like we went into it after taking financial peace and like actually had peace about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you bet you had a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. But gosh, you're going to be like old people. Back when we got married, there was a pandemic. You'll be telling your great-grandkids this story. Yeah, this is great. We had to get married in the backyard.
Is there a honeymoon on the way
is
now
so
that you're
great.
debt-free?
Well, we went
Hopefully.
to but we went to the beach just for the weekend though. Back for our 1-year anniversary though, and maybe in the future we'll do something.
All right, good. Awesome.
Well, you're doing so great. I'm so proud of y'all. What a great start.
Yep, we actually we got a house.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna close in June, and we'll have a mortgage, and we got a 15-year loan, and we're gonna pay it off super early.
Man, that's amazing. Well done, you guys. Very, very well done. This is winning right here, man. Well done. $50,000 income and all of this accomplished in 14 months. Pretty stinking impressive. Very, very well done. Very well done. We've got a copy of the Legacy Journey book, which is your next step to become wealthy and outrageously generous, and you are well on your way because you've been very intentional. You guys are heroes. Very, very proud of you. Very good job.
You
took
helped us.
control. You took control of your life. You're a control freak. I like it. Me too. Me too. So well done. And another copy of the Total Money Makeover book as well. 8 million of those out there now, and you'll have that one to give away to a friend and hopefully pay it forward, get somebody else started on your journey because they're going to be inspired by your lives because your lives are inspiring. So well done.
That's right. You guys, I could see the peace all over you.
Yeah.
Financial peace is a real thing when you can see it on somebody.
Yeah. And the T-shirts help with the living debt-free T-shirts.
And they're color coordinated, his and hers. I mean, they're on top of it.
Yeah, this is like a whole thing here. It's a whole picture. I like it. Well done. All right, Nicholas and Rebecca from Charlotte, North Carolina. $36,000 paid off in 14 months. 14 months married. Making $50,000. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt free.
Oh, man. The first time that 1,000 years ago that someone said, I really don't like you.
Yeah, how'd that feel?
I thought it was me that they didn't like, and it's not me. It's me telling them what to do,
Yeah.
or me, and they don't want to do what we're talking about. I don't like Dave Ramsey, which means translation. They don't even know me. They're not. It's not they don't like me. It's like I'm telling you, be on a budget, live on less than you make, be a grown up, be mature, not spend money you don't have, don't act like you're in Congress. I'm telling you all these kinds of things, and that's what people don't like. Nobody likes to be told they can't do something.
No, and see, the reality is there's this old phrase, the truth hurts.
I thought it set you free.
Well, there's that one too.
Yeah, okay.
Too long of a pause.
Yeah.
But the truth hurts. And so here's the deal. They hear the truth and it hurts. It stings. And so then they go, oh, Dave's telling the truth. I don't like Dave.
He's a boomer. Yeah. He's just a boomer.
Yeah.
He's just one of those
it really
guys.
is true. It hurts.
I really am a boomer. Huh?
Yeah, well, you're true. That's true too. But it is fun to see. I mean, this couple, it's just
They're on fire.
There's so much peace all over them, the happiness, the joy. And here's the deal: that you're gonna have to accept a little bit of pain. I don't know of any area of life where we get progress without some pain. I just don't know of an area. If you want progress, whether it's money, whether it's in your work, whether it's in your health, relationships, if you want to keep progressing, keep growing, and head somewhere worth going, it's going to be tough. And these baby steps, time in, time out, day in, day out, they work. And it is painful, but boy, what it produces on the other end is just pure, unadulterated joy. And we're looking at it.
Yeah. I remember Rachel was a little baby upstairs asleep, and we were going broke. Denise was a toddler upstairs asleep. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I had my Bible open, Romans 5. Rejoice in your suffering.
Yeah.
And I went, I don't think I will. No, thank you. It's not a good idea. Rejoice in your suffering, because suffering produces perseverance.
Yes.
Perseverance, character. Character, hope, and hope. That's what's all over their faces.
That's exactly right.
That wasn't what the scripture said. I just thought of that, though. This is the Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Matt is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Matt. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Ken. Thanks so much for having me today.
Sure. What's up?
Well, first of all, I love that story from the debt-free stage. My wife and I also had a pandemic wedding, and it was a great excuse to spend very, very little on a wedding. I think between the wedding and the honeymoon, we spent about $5,000, and we did it on a fishing pier at a local park with my buddy who was an Army chaplain. So I think that was really awesome.
Serious fun.
Yeah, definitely. So, Dave, the reason that I called in today, I just wanted to say first, you have helped me out so much. My wife and I are 29. We're debt-free except the house with $150,000 in savings. And I'm at a point now where I really want to start giving back, but I feel as though all I have right now is knowledge and time. And I want to do something that I love in my spare time when I'm not working. And I truly believe in the old adage of teaching a man to fish, right?
Yeah.
And what I'd really like to get involved in is educating youth, talking about middle schoolers to high schoolers on financial independence and, financial responsibility, because as you know, financial education is, pretty wanting in the education system right now. I'm an educator, a trainer, and a leader at heart. That probably comes from my time in the Army. And what I'm curious to know is how would you go about this? Would it make sense to set up a nonprofit or become an independent contractor and try to sell my services to school districts? And then if there are any licenses that you think I would need or resources you think I should, tie myself into, this is something that I'd like to do on the side as a way to give back. But I'm just looking for some creative thoughts from your angle.
Yeah. I always recommend just start, and I wouldn't worry about some massive marketing or legal strategy or structure. I would just call some math teachers and say, hey, can I come in one day and talk to your kids about finances? And on my off time. And you don't charge for it. You just go in there and do it, and just start. That's how we have a high school curriculum and a middle school curriculum that is now taught on finances. Now taught in 48% of the high schools in America. So you could give our guys a call and find out some of the teachers that are teaching our stuff. And you could just go into those classrooms and volunteer to answer questions for kids, and do a live presentation, because the presentation's with me on video, obviously, me and the Ramsey personalities, Coleman's in it, all that. You don't have to do that, but I'm just saying that's somebody where a door's already open on the subject, and you could supplement just to kind of get your feet wet and get started, and then you'll start to figure out maybe ways to form your business model, and that might inform you as to whether it's a business that's a ministry or whether it's a nonprofit that's a ministry. And but you've certainly got the bug, and that's a good thing. And you have identified the truth, and that is that the educational system needs a lot of help with this subject. I've been working on it for 20 years, and I'm still only 48% in. I mean, it's a lot of work, and a lot of people need help. And so, I'm happy to help you do that, help you move forward and do all that. It is, Ken, he's followed your stuff to a T in that he figured out what he's good at.
Yeah.
And he's figuring out a way to do it in a way that it makes him happy.
Yeah, I wrote down, Matt, what you said. All I have is knowledge and time, and I want you to rephrase that and say, I have knowledge and I have time. And I think you first start with, how much time do I really have? When you've got a big heart like this and you can just feel the desire coming out of you to help people, that's a wonderful thing. So let's slow down our emotions and let's go, okay, how much time, given the fact that I'm married, I got a full-time job, how much time do I have a week? I think it's a great exercise. Let's just say, for example, purposes, Dave, it's 5 hours. And so you come up with that, you go, I've got that time, and I certainly have the knowledge, and you have passion, by the way. You can hear it all over you. So now, to Dave's point, I love the volunteering. Put yourself out there and just start actually helping young people. I would look at multiple different places in your zip code, by the way, too. Not just the classroom. And Dave's right, the foundations and personal finance, we've already given you the curriculum. Our video team is world-class. You could press play and then instruct a little bit based off of that, answer questions, and really provide a wonderful service. I would look at churches, other nonprofit organizations that are serving young people. So you have a heart for young people. So I would ask, in Charlotte, North Carolina, or your zip code, where are the young people? Who is serving them? That becomes your list. So it's not as intimidating when I go, oh, there are multiple organizations and multiple sectors in my area, whether that be a YMCA or a government agency that's serving all those places.
One of the first places I taught what the Bible says about money was a youth group at our church.
That's easy.
I sat down with 25 kids in the youth group and showed them what the scripture said about it. And then I taught a college age group.
Yeah.
And that actually formed into an adult group. But it was one of the first places I ever did it.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you want to be a writer,
start writing.
Yeah. If you want to be a runner, you should run this morning. If you want to teach personal finance and help kids, you should just start doing it.
That's right.
And you don't need to wait till you have a nonprofit formed. You don't need to wait till you have figured out how to charge for it. Just go do it some.
Just go do it.
And as you interact with the educators, as you interact with the kids, you're going to start to see what's working, what's not, how to charge for it, whether to charge for it, whether we're going to bring in underwriters and sponsor it as a nonprofit, or whether we're going to actually, charge the school system a fee.
That's exactly right. And by just looking at all the different places that I was talking about there and asking yourself, who are the kids I most want to help?
Yeah.
Your heart's going to begin to fill in the answers. And Dave is absolutely right, Matt. Just start. And then what you're going to find is it's almost like going through a maze. As you begin to walk forward, you're going to walk into a wall, move left, move right. Keep walking.
Jennifer's in Philadelphia. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
It's a pleasure to speak with you.
You too.
So I'll make this quick. My husband and I took Financial Peace University 2 years ago. I've been really working to get out of debt. I have been wanting to go to your Entree Leadership Summit since I've learned about you. And then now we'll be totally debt-free by October, possibly December, but it looks like October of this year. So I'm calling to see, can I buy my ticket to Summit that's coming up in Orlando, or should I wait until we're totally debt-free and then wait and buy the ticket next, for the following time? Because if I don't do it now, I'll have to wait to next, I've just been putting it off year after year. I'm just getting excited. Yeah. I'm close.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm really honored that you want to come. It would be very hypocritical of me to tell you to buy our stuff while you're getting out of debt, and I tell people not to do anything like that. But our stuff's different. No, you really shouldn't.
No, that's why I was calling. But
I'm excited for you. I want you to come too, but it's an expensive ticket. I mean, they're what, $3,000-$4,000, right?
Right.
And that's an expensive ticket, and I just can't.
Right, and right.
It would just be completely lacking in integrity for me to tell you to do that. So no, I would not do that. I would wait until you're out of debt before you spend that kind of money on, education, and which is what Summit is. It's teaching world-class leadership. It's one of the best leadership. We just came back from Dallas. It was absolutely incredible, and it is probably the best leadership event on the planet right now. It's absolutely incredible. There's not a lot of leadership events left on the planet.
Yeah, but it is, even when there's a lot. It's a wonderful.
We're the only one
wonderful.
doing it, so we're definitely the best. But yeah, but yeah, I we welcome you when you're able to do it in the right way, and I cannot, in good conscience, recommend that you do that while you're working your baby step 2. But thank you for the call. Yeah, that's And the thing is, I was listening actually to the Entree Leadership podcast this morning on my run, and we had a guy on there talking about sales, and he's going, you have to believe so much in your product. And I do believe in that product. I think it's worth a whole lot more than what we charge for it.
Without question.
And it's going to benefit her more than that, but I'm still not going to tell her to do it in the wrong order.
But here's the deal. Turn that into an extra motivation. She's already gazelle intent. She's almost there. She can see the finish line. Add that as like, after the old marathon, I'm going to go get a big pizza. Whatever you got to do, turn it into motivation.
There you go. This is The Ramsey Show. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, host of The Ken Coleman Show, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Ken talks about careers and jobs. I talk about money, and together we will just talk about you right in front of you. The phone number, 888-825-5225. Kurt is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Hi, Kurt. How are you?
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
Better than I deserve, man. What's up?
How you doing? I'm 25. I'm not filled with my job, and I'd like to move out of my parents' house. Potentially looking up north, but I have about $50,000 in investments and $90,000 in my savings, and I'm blessed to have no debt. Should I move with the current housing market situation, or should I wait? And if I should wait, should I move some of that savings money into investment to make some money while I'm waiting?
Well, the housing market is, as you mentioned, is white hot in terms of buying a home. Some areas, the rental market is also closed up, and it's very difficult to find a rental. And so rental prices are going up as fast as real estate prices are, which there should be a correlation between the two. That makes sense. You have done a wonderful job saving money, sir. Well done. You save all this money, or did somebody give it to you?
I'd say about half, maybe a little less than half, is an inheritance from my uncle. The rest is all just me saving. My father and my mother, since I was young, have always told me, spend half, save half, and I just was never really a big spender, so I saved more than half at that point.
Wow.
And so I've just been saving I've been working since I was, 16, so I've been saving for a while now, and I'd always been looking forward to buying a house, and I just was feeling now was the right time, but with this housing market, I'm just, it's kind of shot down my housing.
You said you might move up north. What are you going to do for a living when you move?
Well, I'd stay within the same industry, but right now, I'd probably go more into analytics. That's what I like to do. Right now, I do more risk management. Mm-hmm.
So, Kurt,
looking to get into more analytical.
So I'm glad we've identified this, because moving up north, I think you had in mind there's some companies or a company or a specific job. And I think that's the part we want to work on first is you're not happy in your job. And so the good news is you're clear. You know what you want to do. You have a good idea of the analytics is where you want to go. I think I determined that. Where's a good place to land there? Then I'd make my housing decision based on that.
Okay.
So do you have a good idea of some companies, or do you have something? When you say move north, are you just thinking an area, or are you thinking company that's pulling you north?
I was thinking more just Orlando or Jacksonville because I have current social networks there that would, and finding a job, there's obviously a lot of, within my industry, there's a lot in Orlando and Jacksonville.
Great.
So I was looking there just to kind of get away from where I've currently been and where I've lived all my life,
Sure. Well, that's really good strategy. So, Kurt, I think you need to take some action steps. And so I would begin, if you haven't already, you obviously have the social networks there. I would actually begin to engage those social networks around those companies. You identified both friends, connections, and several companies that are in your industry, or at least you know that it's pretty hot there. I'd start making those connections. I'm going to give you a copy of my #1 best-selling book, The Proximity Principle, which actually walks you through step by step how to make those connections, who specifically you're looking at. Because I think if you get really serious about that, Kurt, right now you're in great shape financially. Let's find those opportunities. Let's go ahead and get interviews. Let's land the gig. And I think the housing decision will take care of itself because you've been very smart with your money. But let's land a job, and then let's make a housing decision as a part of that.
Yeah, here's what I will just add to that. I'll take the back end of that strategy. So start working the social networks. You're only a few hours from those towns. Get the job landed. Then go rent an apartment for 6 months. Then during that 6 months, start looking for property. Don't overpay. There's no reason for you to have house fever. You can take your time. And if the market's white hot and you have to dramatically overpay to get a house, then that's God saying don't buy a house right now. Just wait. Just take your time. Sit in that apartment, in the new job, in the new city, and take your time. You've got the money. You can pounce when you see the right thing. You're in a position to do it, but don't get the fever and pounce, especially on your very first home purchase, and overpay after you've done such a great job saving money. So very, very well done, sir. Good job. Anita is with us in Dayton, Ohio. Hi, Anita. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I am getting ready to retire, and I'm going to take a plop of $84,000, and I wasn't sure where to put that money.
Okay.
So I was.
Is that your only nest egg?
No. I have. My husband and I have a couple $100,000 in annuities, and I have a $50,000 emergency fund, and then we have about right at $2 something in just invested.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm definitely, the $84,000 is coming from a lump sum from a pension plan rollover, or what?
Yes.
Okay. I would roll it to a traditional IRA. That way there's no taxes on it. And I personally would put it in good mutual funds. So again, just invest it. You've been doing investing, and I would just continue that with this particular money. If you pull it out, you're going to be taxed on it. And if you're if you're under 59, which it sounds like you're retiring, so I doubt it. But if you're under 59, you'll be penalized as well. So no need to do any of that. Let's just roll it and let the whole amount work for you in a traditional IRA in some good growth stock mutual funds. That's the best way to go. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. You know, we're talking about that peak real estate. Man, real estate season is here. If you're thinking about buying a home this year, here's a piece of simple advice that could save you from making a six-figure mistake. Don't buy something you don't understand. If you don't know where to start and you're unsure financially, you don't know if you're ready for a mortgage, you're confused about how the buying process works, start by connecting with one of our endorsed local providers. These are high-octane, high-protein real estate agents that we have vetted, that we trust. Our ELPs will help guide you through the entire home buying or home selling process. They're here to teach you every step of the way so that you feel confident in this big money decision. Go to RamseySolutions.com/agent and connect with one of our trusted ELPs. That's RamseySolutions.com/agent. Hey folks, I got a great option to help you pay for your education. The Army National Guard. The Army National Guard believes you are the next greatest generation because you have proven that even in adversity, that you have what it takes to succeed. That's why they offer benefits like tuition assistance, career training, and a paycheck to help you avoid debt. No matter what your goals are, the Army National Guard can help you get there. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more. Coleman Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Sarah is in Milwaukee. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Sure. What's up?
So my husband and I have a disagreement about about our mortgage. So we qualified for a 30-year mortgage, but our plan is to pay it off like a 15. My husband in the budget recommended to me in our last finance meeting together that whatever extra money we have in our budget, we should put towards the principal of our mortgage. And I'm like, well, honey, we only plan on being in this house for 5, maybe 10 years because we want more kids and we need more space. And he's like, no, we really need to pay towards the principal. We need to own more of our house. And it's caused this huge rift in our relationship.
Why is it causing a huge rift in your relationship? What, do we pay extra on the mortgage? What do you want to do with the money?
I would like to put it towards trips or improving the house that we already have.
Okay. That's a fair argument then. Okay. So the answer is you need to do some of both. You're both right.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that answer.
Yeah. You're out of debt, right? Except your house.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And you have your emergency fund. Are you putting 15% of your income into retirement?
We're about there, yes.
Okay. Are you putting anything aside for your kids? Are you putting anything aside for the kids' college?
Yes, we are.
Good. Okay. That's baby steps 4, 5, and 6. Baby step 6 is pay off your house early. Now, what you're supposed to do is to do according to what we teach, in other words, is to do baby steps 4, 5, and 6 simultaneously. So you're putting 15% of your income away for retirement, you're putting money on your kids' college, and you're supposed to be paying down the house, reasonably aggressive. Now, baby steps 1 through 3 you do with gazelle intensity, like a gazelle running from a cheetah, wide open, scared to death, going crazy. Baby steps 4, 5, and 6 are not with intensity, they are with intentionality. And baby steps 4, 5, and 6 are where you buy a couch, where you fix up the house, where you go on a trip, and where you work on these other 3 goals of retirement, kids' college, and reducing the mortgage. And so, yeah, I'd love for you. I think it's wise for you to reduce your mortgage. But I also think it's wise for you to enjoy some money during these steps as well. And that would include some reasonable renovations that you do with cash, no debt, some reasonable trips that you do with cash and no debt. If you consume all the money and do no mortgage reduction, that would be unwise. But if you put 100% on mortgage reduction, that's not what we teach.
Okay.
So I would just figure out how much money are we talking about that's in play here? A month. How much a month is he wanting to put on the mortgage and you're wanting to spend?
I think it's about $500 to $1,000 we have extra in our budget.
Okay. Well, to start with, the fact that you don't know that is a problem. You need to know that. You need to know what's going on. And $500 to $1,000, it's not. It's one or the other, or it's $642, or I don't know. I mean, you have a budget and you have an amount left over that we're arguing about, and we don't even know how much that is. So right now we're just having a vague argument. So the two of you need to sit down and say, okay, exactly, because he's the nerd, and you don't nerd out on details, but you need to know enough of the details to know what you're arguing about, right?
Right. I agree.
Okay. So you jump in there, you figure out, and if it's $750, and you say, all right, we're going to put $350 on the mortgage, and we're going to set $400 aside for fun, and that fun this month is we're going to start saving up to fix up this bathroom, and I want to spend $4,000 on it, so it's going to take 10 months of doing that, or whatever the thing is. I don't care what you do, but if it's $1,000 and you want to split it 50-50, I don't care. If you split it down the middle or what you do, but the point is that you have a very valid complaint here, a very valid argument that you should not only do the proper smart things with money and never enjoy money. That is not what you're not going to get there doing that. You need to enjoy some of it. But on the other hand, he's got a valid point that we need to put some on the mortgage, and we don't need to just consume all of our excess. And so some of both is where wisdom lands, and that's where I would send you to. Good question. It's a really good discussion. And I think that people get a lot of confusion around that because we teach you to do live on rice and beans. Don't see the inside of a restaurant. Don't go on vacation when you're in baby steps 1 through 3.
Yeah, I love the way you worded that. The intensity in baby steps 1 through 3 turns into intentionality, which is we've got a budget, but we can sit down and go, hey, we need to get a whole new living room set because the dogs have ruined it. And so we're going to save up for that. And so that intentionality is still the budget.
It sounded like that might have really happened.
It did. You nailed that. We had to do that recently because the doodles, big dogs come with big dog problems. But anyway, the point is that I really like that differentiation there that you have laid out. That's really the tone. You go from intensity to, okay, now we can be intentional and still enjoy life.
Oh, and I'll just add one more thing to it. It doesn't have to be all or nothing in a month. And I mean, it doesn't have to be split down the middle of the month. You could say, this month we're going to spend it all.
All right.
Next month we're going to put it all on the mortgage.
That's exactly right.
You can go back and forth a little bit, or we're going to, for 2 months we're going to set it all to buy this furniture. And then for the next 2 months, we're going to do the mortgage. I don't care how you do it, but some of each needs to occur.
Yeah, I really like that. That's a really great breakdown of how you do that. And it allows people to breathe. But, there's something about the human spirit, Dave. When they get all intense, it's hard to turn that down a little bit.
Especially those nerds.
Yeah, right.
Like me.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we're so task-oriented, and, man, whew, that's what her husband's doing. Jennifer's in Sacramento. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I am trying to figure out what I should do with my extra funds that I have. I currently have a PSP account. It's about $156,000. And I have half of the funds in G Fund, $84,000.
Ooh, how much?
And then, yeah, I know. But the other half is in C Fund. It's about $72,000.
Yeah.
And I currently contribute about 20% of my check into my PSP, but I'm thinking I need to make some sort of change because I'm also putting out $500 a month savings just to a regular checking account, and I want to maximize my retirement.
You're a rock star, man. You're getting after it, kiddo. What do you make?
I make about $79,000 a year.
Good for you. Do you own a home?
Well, my husband, he just paid off his house like 2 years ago.
I'm sorry. Do you live with your husband?
Yes, I do. I say his house because he bought it before we were married.
Oh, but now it's your house.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So so we just paid off our house. So you're debt-free house and everything. Your family is, correct?
Yes, correct.
Neither one of you or your husband have any debt then?
Well, I just wrote a check. I'm planning to pay off my Lexus. I owe about $14,000, but I'm going to go ahead and send that check off today.
Good.
And I do have $10,000 extra that I'm saving for my daughter, but I think I also need to move that to somewhere else as well.
Okay. Well, how old is your daughter? What are you saving for? College?
I guess for her future, whatever she needs, like a vehicle or college. I'm just worried about college, putting into a 529 plan or a college plan, saving plan. What if she doesn't go to school?
Why wouldn't she go to school?
I don't know. Just worried.
Yeah. Put it in a 529. Keep the government's hands off of it. Get with a SmartVestor Pro at DaveRamsey.com. They'll help you do that. As far as your TSP goes, I recommend 80% into the C, 20% into the S and 20% into the I. The S is the small company, the I is the international, the C is the common stock. That little portfolio mix right there will outperform any other mix in the TSP. And you could put it all in the C, but I want a little of the sauce in there, the small and the international as well. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today on the debt-free stage in the Ramsey Solutions lobby. Sam and Jasmine are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
Hey,
how are
Dave.
you?
Welcome. Where do you guys live?
San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, fun. Welcome to Nashville. Good to have you guys. So here to do a debt-free scream. How much did you pay off?
Paid off $135,000.
Woo! How long did this take?
21 months.
Wow.
Whoa.
And your range of income during that time?
We started at 123 to 204, just within the last few months, though.
That's kind of ridiculous. I love it. So what do y'all do for a living?
I work in the IT industry for the U.S. government.
Okay.
And I work in management for a shipping and delivery company.
So who got the mammoth raise? Both of you?
A little bit of both of us.
Yeah.
Big Sam. IT stepped up here with Big Sam. Way to go, Sam.
Thank you.
Man, that's cool, y'all. So what kind of debt was this $135,000?
It was a little bit of medical, 2 vehicles, and my student loans.
What was the big chunk?
My student loans.
And what did you owe on the student loans?
About $70,000.
Okay, so about half of it was
Oh,
that. Yeah. Okay, cool. How long you guys been married?
1 year tomorrow.
1 year.
Oh,
Tomorrow.
congratulations.
So you started on this
Thank you.
before
Yes.
and finished after you were married?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us the story. How did this all go down?
So, yes, I did start it myself. We had heard of very good money principles through our pastor at church.
Mm-hmm.
We just never really applied it to our lives. And over time, we saw that he would offer Financial Peace University. Once again, we didn't apply it. And months later, a coworker actually gave me your book. Once again, I didn't read it, didn't apply it. It wasn't until we got engaged that I started watching your YouTube videos. And that's when it finally clicked that I really wanted to follow these principles. And that meant that we would have to combine our income. And that I would actually have to reveal my debt to him. So.
Uh-oh. So you were already engaged before he found out how much debt you had?
Actually, no, it was right before, I believe.
It was before.
Okay,
That was
that's
actually,
good.
once I had it in me to tell him and I saw that he didn't have a negative reaction to it like I thought he would, that's when I knew that we were in this together. And
Okay. So you had $70,000 in student loan debt, you had a car loan, and Sam had a car loan.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and Sam, what other debt did you have?
That was it.
Just the
that
car?
was just my car, yes.
And what did you owe on your car?
At the time, $20,000.
Okay, so this beautiful woman is looking at you saying, with all this beauty comes $100,000 plus in debt.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was,
What'd you do?
Before I asked the
What'd you do?
question,
You went, oh my God.
No, I sat, there was a lot of prayers to God.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of it was faith-driven, and I knew what I was getting into before I popped the question. So
he was in love.
Yeah, he was. Well, listen, anybody that can see, you outpunted your coverage. So you're not that smart.
It was worth every dime.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. There you go.
So I got a question, Sam. Had you heard of Financial Peace? We know she had. I'm assuming you're in the same church, or am I assuming wrong? Okay.
Yes, I had throughout going to church, and then when we met, we got together. We started going to church together, and for me, it was just kind of I never really had a solid plan, but I was never really in debt aside from just the car. So I had savings, but I never threw my savings to pay off my car, and so it was kind of a different Yeah,
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
just
Different situation, yeah.
Mhm.
For sure. Which church?
Revolution Church.
Oh, yeah.
In Schertz, Texas.
Fun. Very cool. Well, way to go, you guys. Y'all are impressive. Impressive young couple. Very
Thank you.
well done. Who were your biggest cheerleaders outside the two of you going, yes, you can do this?
You know, we didn't really publicize it. We feel like we just kind of had our heads down and we're just.
None of your
pushing
family knew
forward.
you were working on this? or-
We kind of would mention it if it would come up in conversation, and they were supportive,
But nobody's just like, yes, yes, yes.
right,
Correct.
right.
Oh, wow. Very cool. So you guys just struck out. How old are you two?
I am 36, and before her, it's her birthday today.
Happy birthday!
Oh, that's
So,
fun.
All right.
Yeah, she's 28. So.
All right. Very good. Very
Birthday
good.
the day before the anniversary.
Yeah.
Wow. Very nice. Well, he won't forget that.
That's
way.
I was getting ready to say.
Exactly.
It'll be helpful. It'll be
That's
helpful in
actually
your
my
in
idea.
coming years. They'll be glad for that.
And now you know how to budget, because that's the double hit right there.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you got to plan for that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big month.
Yeah, I've got to ask him, Dave. I mean, that's a lot of money. $135,000 in 21 months. What was the biggest sacrifice? What was the big
The hard part.
The hard stuff.
To be honest, there was no hard part. For us, it just wasn't having a plan. And so when we discovered the baby steps, and followed through and implemented with that plan, we had the discipline, we had the attitude and the willpower. Everything just clicked and fell into place.
Wow.
So, and like I said, when I started, I didn't really have a plan. I had savings, but I only had a car debt, and I didn't know where to go.
Yeah.
And so when she discovered the baby steps and everything and said, "Hey, let's get on board with this," I couldn't fully commit because we weren't 100%. We weren't married, and that was part of the principle to combine our finances. We had to get married, and so I knew part of what God gave me the vision to do was, hey, marry this woman if you really love her, and and that's where we went from there.
Well done.
Good for you.
So.
Good stuff, guys. Very, very cool. You guys are absolute heroes. So proud of you. So what are you going to do fun next now that you're finally out of debt?
We actually are in the process of building a home.
Yay!
So that's what we're looking forward to.
Good. Very cool. When will it be completed?
Hopefully by the end of this year.
This year.
Okay. All right. So perfect timing. Good for you guys.
Thank you.
Man, you're doing everything right. You are really rocking. This is good stuff. Well, we've got a copy of the book, The Legacy Journey, for you. That's the next chapter in your story to continue to build out your legacy, to live like no one else, so later you can live and give like no one else. And of course, also, we're going to give you a copy of the Total Money Makeover book, the one that you didn't read, and the first time anyway. But now you can give it away to somebody, and they won't read it. And the Total Money Makeover is the most used coaster on coffee tables all over America. It sits there, people put coffee cups on it and don't read it until the time is right, and then they crack that thing open, and it blows their minds, and they go do it. And it may sit there 3 years and collect dust and coffee cup rings, but finally it's there. So it's just for you guys. We love you guys. I'm so proud of y'all. You guys are impressive. Very impressive. Very, very proud of them. Yeah. Good job. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, Sam and Jasmine from San Antonio, $135,000 paid off in 21 months, making 123 to 204. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Woo! Man, that's fabulous. And not only are they impressive, they're pretty.
Yeah, I'm not sure Sam's okay with that adjective, but he understands what you mean. But yeah, what a great young couple.
What a sharp power couple right there, man.
Really
Lots
fantastic.
of stuff going on. Lots of future there that's going to be unbelievable. And you know what's so interesting is we get people, our last debt-free scream in the other hour, $50,000 a year. This couple making 123 up to just recently after they're debt-free, moving on up to 204. All kinds of incomes do this.
Yeah.
People do it that are young. People do it that are old. People do it that live in the West. People do it that live in the East. Even people in California do it.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, people everywhere. It's amazing. You can actually do this stuff. These baby steps work. This is a proven process. Financial Peace University is a proven process in Ramsey Plus. You can get in it. You can change everything, folks. So the only question is, when are you going to do it? The people that are listening right now, I'm talking to you. When are you going to take control of your destiny? It's up to you. The Calvary's not coming. Biden's not going to change your life. You have to do it. And the great news is, you can. This is The Ramsey Show. Ramsey personality Ken Coleman, host of The Ken Coleman Show, now heard on over 75 radio stations, a very popular podcast and a SiriusXM radio, joins me today answering your questions about your careers, your jobs, your life. I'm here to help you with your life and your money. And together, we're going to make it done. Get her done for you. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Father John is in Oklahoma. Hi, Father John. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, I'm a big fan. My parents learned me on the Ramsey method when I was a teenager, and I'm definitely convinced that your methods really changed the trajectory of my life. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, thank you. I'm honored. How can we serve you today, sir?
So I'm a Roman Catholic priest, and I live in the housing that's provided by the parish, and so I don't own a home. I've never been in debt, and I am kind of in between baby steps 4 and 5. And I was just sort of wondering, because of how busy I am with ministry and also the possibility of kind of, I could get moved anytime, anywhere on the western half of the state. That's the primary reason why I decided to kind of not take up a mortgage and not get a home. And I haven't decided necessarily, if I don't have children of my own. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to be saving up for my nieces and nephews or not. But I guess what I was just wondering was, so right now I'm paying into retirement and just kind of saving money. I own my car, and I'm just wondering, is there any reason why I should get a home, or
no.
I figured that's
there's
just
not.
kind of.
Now there's two questions I have that I'm not familiar enough with the Roman Catholic priesthood to, and you'll have to help me with this in my ignorance. How often do they typically move you?
So we can be moved. For us younger priests, we can get moved pretty regularly, but probably anywhere between 5 to 10 years.
So you usually stay in a place 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, that's the norm anyway. I mean, obviously they can anytime, is what you've said twice, but the point is they typically don't on a whim, and you got a 5 year. So you're there long enough to own a property, if you want, especially once you settled into a parish that you think you're going to be there for an extended period of time. That might be a little bit later in your career. Now, the second thing, and this is going to sound really dumb, but I just don't know, so I have to ask. You said you're saving for retirement. I don't know if Roman Catholic priests retire. Do you quit?
Well, yeah. See, that's the thing. It's kind of retirement in air quotes.
Okay.
We kind of just.
I was kind of under the impression you didn't.
No, the retirement age, technically speaking, is 75. But I mean, I just plan on dying with my boots on. So
yeah. That's the priests that I have known. That's what they've done. But I'm not Roman Catholic, and so I wasn't up close enough to know what the flip was really going on. So okay, all right. That makes sense. All right. So, yeah, you're saving for retirement. Now, here's what the reason I ask that is as you move into maybe the second half of your career, A, you're more stable in a location, and B, you're going to want to stabilize the most expensive part, but potentially of your retirement years. I mean, if you step out of the parish and don't have parish housing at 75, but continue doing priestly work of some kind, but you don't have the housing furnished, you're going to need a home at that point. And that is the biggest line item in your budget at retirement that's now destabilized because now you're a renter if we don't plan for this. So I want you to plan to buy a house 65 years old and pay cash for it.
Okay.
Or something like that. You see what I'm doing here? So that we know by then you're probably in a location you're going to stay, and we know by then that there's a possibility somewhere out in the fairly near future that you might need housing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. I kind of, I was like, how do I navigate these steps? Since housing's provided. And
how old are you now?
So, I'm 30 today.
Cool. Well, happy birthday.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for your service to the Lord, sir. And
thank you very much, Dave.
Yeah, and so what you're going to do is you're going to start paying a house payment into a mutual fund, and that's your house fund that you're going to pay cash with 30 years from now, okay?
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate y'all taking my call.
Yeah, thanks for bearing through my ignorance because I don't know how these things work. So, cool. That's fun.
It's really fun because I want people to grab that. When you start putting a house payment right now into a mutual fund, 30 years from now, he's going to have plenty of housing. He's going to be in really good shape.
He's going to have a lot of money. A lot more than he needs.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's a wonderful opportunity.
But his is truly a life of service.
Yes.
Most of our lives should be, but he's a different kind of commitment that he stepped into there before God, and very powerful, very cool. What a nice young man. Very sharp. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Tina is in Cincinnati. Hi, Tina. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi there. I have an insurance question. I'm going to be 59, and my husband is going to be 49. And we took out 20-year term policies that are going to be running out in about 6 years. So I'll be able to retire at that point. But then my husband will still have 10 more years of working, and he won't have any term insurance left. Now, our house will be paid off next year, and we're otherwise debt-free. And we have about $650,000 in our retirement accounts right now. So he doesn't think that he'll need to replace that insurance because the house will be paid off, and our savings will take care of any needs I would have.
What is your $650,000 invested in?
It's our retirement plans, our 401ks.
I know. What, in mutual funds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's in good growth stock mutual funds that are averaging, if they were to average 10%, about every 7 years, they'll double if you don't add anything to it. So 7 years from now, when we're discussing about this 6-year policy running out, you should have $1.3 million and a paid-for house. If your husband dies, honey, I think you're going to be okay.
Well, that's what he says.
Well, I mean, you think you could struggle through on $1.3 million and a paid-for house?
Yeah, I probably could.
Okay.
I just was just a little nervous, just not knowing, how things go. So it makes me feel.
Well, I
better
mean,
to hear
if 6 years from today, if the money has not grown, you can revisit the discussion, right? But hypothetically, you should be self-insured, meaning no debt. There's no money that you need, and you have a huge pile of money over here to live off of the income that it creates. So what's your household income now?
So right now it's about $200.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you would have to live on about $130 if he died and you only had $1.3 million, but you wouldn't have a house payment.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that or not. You think you can?
I think so. Hopefully he's not listening, so he can't tell me I told you so.
Well, here's the thing. Your fear is justified, and it's a good fear. The trick to use the fear for is to dig in and go, okay, what are the facts, and can the fear go away once I understand the facts?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to lay out here is because it is very wise of you to be concerned about this issue. People who are not concerned about how things are going to go if someone dies are the ones that end up messed up. They end up in a really screwed up situation. So you're very wise to have that fear, but then then what you have to do is you have to do the actual analysis, and it's okay for you to not say, "Oh, I don't necessarily trust it just because he says it." You need to look at the actual numbers. Don't do it because Dave Ramsey said. But if you say, "Okay, looks like we're going to talk to my financial advisor. We're going to have $1.5 million paid for house 6 years from today. We'll let that drop. I think we'll be okay." And you can let that release down inside of you then. It's a beautiful thing. Thanks for calling.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer for The Ramsey Show. This episode is over, but if you heard about an event, product, or service and didn't have a chance to write it down, don't worry. We list everything you've heard about during this episode in the podcast show notes section or head to theramseyshow.com. Thanks for listening.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host, Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, host of The Ken Coleman Show, where they talk about careers and finding your passion in your work, is my co-host today. We're taking your calls about careers, about money, about life. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Karen's in Lubbock, Texas. Hi, Karen. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi, Ken. It's an honor to speak with you all.
You too. What's up?
My question is this. I am in baby steps 4 and 5, and I have a 23-year-old son. He will be going to graduate school in Dallas in August, and he's going to get a free scholarship for all but $2,000 of his graduate school. However, I'll be helping him pay for his rent, and when he gets rent, or when he rents his house, he will be having roommates. And if I am asked to co-sign, I know I've heard you say many times not to co-sign for somebody when they're renting for your child. So my question is, what can I do? If I'm asked to co-rent, what other options would or to co-sign, what other options would I have?
Are you paying the rent?
I'm going to help him. He'll probably be paying some of it, but I'm going to help him with a lot of it. Yes.
Do you have the money?
Yes, I do. I'm on baby steps 4 and 5, and
how old is he?
I'm cash flowing. He's 23.
Okay. And what's his grad work?
He's going to graduate in music performance.
Okay. Is he working while he's doing his grad work?
Yes, he will be. He's in undergrad. He did a lot of gigs, and he did a lot of work, and he paid for most of it, most of his rent, and I paid for minimal of his school, so I won't be paying a whole lot. But the issue is, I'm just concerned that when he gets a roommate, he doesn't have any credit or credit cards, thank God. But if I'm asked to co-sign for him,
the answer is no. I would not co-sign for anyone under any circumstances. The reason I was asking so many questions, I was trying to figure out where you were in a couple of things on parallels. So, one of my kids at college moved into a house with a bunch of other kids. And I didn't want his name or my name tied to being liable for the whole rent if the other goobs didn't pay their share.
Right.
Which happens in college situations all the time. Okay.
Yes.
And so what I did in that case was I called the landlord, talked to him, and I just prepaid his rent for the year.
Okay.
No signature required. No lease required. He's liable for the whole thing because he's not liable for anything. His part's already paid. And I'm certainly not signing anything.
Yes, that's what I just wanted to be prepared when that question arises.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't want to burst your bubble, but I do want you to be thinking about something, and your son. Why do you need graduate level work in performance in the music business?
His ultimate goal is to be a professor, to get a doctorate.
Okay, then that would make sense. All right, that's the only reason I can think you would want to get that. But you certainly don't need it to be a performer. Like the number of performers who have a graduate degree that stand on the stage and perform music is 0.
In fact, there's a high percentage of those performers don't even have a college degree.
Right.
Dave, I had a question there. I'm a little old school. I don't know why the 23-year-old's not able to pay his rent 100%. I appreciate Mom. She's awesome. She's amazing. She wants to help. Clearly, this young man did a great job in college of paying for most of his college, and he has no debt. But at 23, I want my kid, if he's going to grad school, I want him paying his own rent. Am I an archaic old?
No, I mean, if she
fuddy-duddy?
No, you're not. That's preferable. And she's, she said he's a hard worker and he's paid.
Yeah,
for the
he's
other
absolutely
stuff.
responsible.
So it's not. This kid's not a
right.
He's not a parasite. So, I think. But to say absolutely 0, I might help. I might have helped one of mine in that situation. But my first and best choice for them is for them to figure out a way to cut their own way through the forest.
Yeah.
Get the axe out, get the machete out. Time for you to do your own thing, baby doll.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's good for that. That's not a bad thing at all. Patrick's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hi, Patrick. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Ramsey. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me today.
Sure. What's up?
So my question fundamentally is, I finished your Total Money Makeover book. My mother wants me to have a credit card. I do not want to have one.
How old are you?
I don't want to. 28, soon to be 28. So background information.
Well, that's sweet that you're what your mommy wants, but who gives a rip?
Right. So background information.
My mommy wants me to buy a red car too, but I'm 28 and I'll freaking buy a blue car.
Okay. So I just finished medical school. I'm going to start residency here in a little bit. I have $158,000 of debt. I haven't had a regular income-based job. I've been able to pay off my undergrad loans, but now I'm just with med school student loans, and my parents have been gracious enough to put me up and basically pay for all my costs of living while I handle tuition.
Okay.
So I want to be able to answer my mom respectfully, other than, hey, I'm 28, it's my life. Thanks for helping me through, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. All you got to do is turn up the respect 1/4 of a notch to what you just said, and you'll be respectful. Because she's out of line. She's out of line. Yeah. I've got a 30-year-old. I would no more tell him that than fly to the moon. And I'm freaking Dave Ramsey. I mean, really. So, so that's a boundary violation. But anyway, we don't have to be mean to her. They're being kind to you. They've been good to you, and we want to be loving and gentle. That's not. I'm not trying to be sarcastic and mean, but
right.
So the answer is, Mom, I've been reading through this and this new material, and I've become convinced that our debt-based way of doing things in America is a bad plan. And so I'm really scared about these student loans that we're going into here. And one of my first goals is going to be get rid of those. And I'm swearing off a debt. I'm not going to go anywhere near debt. And so I've got a debit card. It'll do everything a credit card will do except go into debt. And I'm not going into debt, Mom. And you ought to really be proud of me for that, because it means you raised me well. And that's it.
Nice touch.
End of discussion.
Yeah.
And if she can't put it down, and she won't, then That's on her at that point. That's not on you. Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. Chase is with us in Dallas. Hi, Chase. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave and Ken. Thank you guys so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Well, first off, I wanted to thank you for last year. I called in February last year with a business question. I was looking at a partnership, and you strongly encouraged me not to do it. And I wanted to thank you because my business has about tripled in size over the last year.
Wow.
And it's been a banner year. I run an appraisal firm, and it's been very busy. So
good for you.
I wanted to thank you for that first.
I'm so happy for you.
My question, thank you so much. My question today is, we are thinking about getting into a bigger home, and honestly, I'm a little bit nervous. We are on baby step 4, 5, and 6, and we currently have a home it's a very affordable home. I don't even think about my mortgage, but it is in a school district that we don't really love. I have 4 kids that are starting at ages 3 and go up to 8, so we have a lot of little kids at home, and we got them piled into the 3 bedrooms. So it's a bit of a madhouse. And we are looking at moving to a better school district, but the homes there are quite a bit more expensive than what I have. And we have an opportunity. We had not only did we find a house down there, we found a house on land that needs some repairs done to it, but the houses down there range from kind of the $350 to the $475 range. And after repairs and everything, this thing would be right about $350. So it's kind of an ideal situation. My question is, should I wait and be a little bit more conservative because I'm a business owner, or am I in the right place to start moving up in house?
As long as the mortgage is on a 15-year fixed or less, and it's no more than a fourth of your take-home pay, I'm good with the move.
Okay. Well, the only thing that kind of put a little monkey wrench in that is that I know that you're not big into financing or doing any kind of anything for repairs on the house, and the house does need that. It would need about $70,000 of repair, but we could put that into the 15-year fixed rate mortgage, and I would just have
that's like doing a construction loan to build a house.
Yeah.
At that point, and I'm not against that. It just all ends up in your permanent is what it amounts to. Now, what is the years left on your current mortgage? How many years left?
So I've got we refinanced to a 15-year last year, so I've got 14 years. Okay. I only owe about $100,000 on it. The house is worth about a little less than $200,000.
Okay, and you're going to throw that $100 in the mix, and so you're going to finance $250, give or take, on a 15-year fixed instead of $100. So you're going up $150, and your household income's what?
Well, my household income, I don't know if I should judge it off this last year, but it was a big year, so it was about $250,000. This last year, and the year before was about 200.
Yeah. You're more than okay, dude. I mean, you're in great shape.
My wife is going to laugh at this call. She thinks I'm the most conservative person on planet Earth. I build our budget around $150,000.
You're not, but if they die, you could be left with that title. Oh no, you're doing good. You're just being very careful, and you're very wise. You're an appraiser, and so you're a numbers guy, and you're a detail guy, and you analyze things on the left side of the brain, and that's awesome. There's nothing wrong with any of that. It's gotten you to where you are, dude. So it's not a bad gig. You're doing a really, really good job. I'm proud of you. You're in good shape here. The trick is to just not get in patterns that roll you into more debt all the time. And so this is probably a big move for at least a decade, and you're probably going to get this house paid off in about less than 10 years.
That is the plan.
Yeah. You're in good shape, dude.
Chase, one last piece of advice. It'd be good to go home and tell your wife that you talked to Dave and she was right. Just get some bonus points there. But you're still a good dude. You're doing great.
You've done a great job analyzing it. And your conservative nature has gotten you to where you are, but it's also good to bounce things around, and you're humble enough that you're open to input from her, input from other people, and just to kind of bounce things around, think it through with other people, and that's very wise. Very, very wise. Good question, man. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations on all your success. Very, very well done. Folks, if you're tired of feeling stuck with your money, like you'll never get out of debt or you'll never save enough for the future, maybe you'll never be in control like that guy was, listen, it doesn't have to be that way. You can make progress with your money, and you can make it faster than you think. The only way to make it happen is with a budget, and that's why you need a Ramsey Plus membership. You'll get access to the premium version of our Every Dollar budgeting app, which is world-class. You plan out every dollar you'll spend, you'll save before the month begins. Connect your budget to your bank so you don't miss a transaction. Custom budget reports, access to Financial Peace University, access to coaching, access to group discussions. It is an amazing process to get into Ramsey Plus. When you budget and you get intentional with your money, you're going to make progress fast. And you can start budgeting for free today with a free trial at Ramsey Plus. Text TRIAL to 33789. Text TRIAL to 33789. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. That means even if you mismeasure or you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code RAMSEY to get the best possible deal.
Dave, today's question comes from Kendall in Kentucky. I will get my bachelor's in business management next year, and I have roughly $40,000 invested in the stock market and 3 months' expenses in my emergency fund. I'm considering going straight into a master's program in data business analytics. I don't think I will have the skills to confidently walk into a data analytics job with a bachelor's degree. Should I stay in school to get my master's, or should I work full-time in a different role for a couple of years and save up more money to go back to school for data analytics? Well, the first thing is let's get for sure. When somebody says, I don't think I'll have the skills, I hear a little bit of doubt. And the way we deal with doubt is we go get some facts. And I think there are many entry-level jobs that will lead you into data analytics. And so I would do my research. You've got a school that can help you and get you a ton of information. Plus, you have relationships that will allow you to talk to people who are winning in data analytics. That's the proximity principle. It says, in order to do what I want to do, data analytics, I got to get around people that are doing that work and in places where it's happening. That is your number one homework assignment. Let's get very clear on whether or not you must get a master's degree in order to do the work you eventually want to do. Anybody that gets out of college has got to jump in at entry level, and I don't think he has to do that.
You are not going after this master's degree because you need a master's degree. You're going after this master's degree because you're scared to be a grown-up.
Yes.
You want to hide in the education because you're afraid of stepping out there in the real freaking world, dude. Throw your shoulders back, son, and go get you a job. And get into data analytics. Data analytics is the hottest. I mean, that and security, cybersecurity right now, two of the hottest fields out there. You're going to make so stinking much money, and you're going to learn on the job because data analytics is moving at light speed, faster than the professor is teaching at the master's level. He already doesn't know what you need to know a month from now. You can't keep up by going in and doing formal education in that field, son. You're going to have to get in the field, and you're going to get out there and kick the can and cause stuff to happen.
That's right.
Don't be scared. Go do it. Throw your shoulders back and step into it, son. You can do this.
Yeah.
You're just trying to hide behind, people don't want to go out there. They just keep going to school. It's time to quit. Time to go do it.
Yeah. And listen, they're training you on the job, as you say. And
they'll pay for your master's if you need it, but you don't need it.
You don't need it.
I got data analytics people all over this building, and they're smarter than smart, than smart, than smart, than smart. Almost none of them have a master's.
Yeah, that's exactly
and
right.
They're running freaking data for Ramsey, I can tell you that. And we are data bonkers around this building, man. They're teaching me stuff every day. I'm so impressed with them. They're very smart people, but they are not master's degreed. That's absolute BS. A BS is all you need.
Not the degree.
See what I did there?
I like what you did.
All right. This is The Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the Debt-Free Stage. Lee and Heather are with us, along with their daughter, Sophia. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, Dave.
Fantastic.
Welcome. Where do you guys live?
Franklin, Indiana, 20 minutes south of Indianapolis.
So, Indianapolis. Very cool. Now, and how much debt did you pay off?
$91,251.95.
Love it. How long did this take?
25 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
We started at 143, went up to 162, and I actually just got a promotion last week, so we're at 171 now.
Wow. What do you do for a living?
So we both work for the Department of Defense. I'm in HR.
And I'm in IT.
Very cool. Good for you. Good careers. What kind of debt was the $91,000?
My student loans.
All of it?
All of it.
The only debt you had?
The only thing we had.
Oh, my gosh. So what's your degree in? HR?
Yes. I have an MBA in HR.
Good for you. Good for you. That's a great degree.
Yeah.
That's a great field. Good for you. That's so fun. So how long you guys been married?
Almost 10 years.
All right. Good. Good. And what happened 2 years ago that set this on fire?
Well, it actually started about 14 years ago. No,
it didn't. You've been getting out of debt for 25 months.
I first heard about you then, and my life was a mess. I had credit card payments and, medical bills and everything else. Listened to FPU and thought, this made sense. This is smart biblical wisdom. Started getting out of debt and met this handsome guy here, and he was completely on board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, one of the stipulations to being together, she said you got to read this book. And so it was Total Money Makeover.
But you've been married 10 years.
Yeah, we were.
So what happened 2 years ago? I thought you got out of debt in 25 months.
We did. So we decided.
I'm so confused.
So we decided, after we actually were both laid off for a year and a half. After he came back from Iraq, he was injured and couldn't work. Mm-hmm. I lost my job at the same time.
Oh.
So we kind of had to stop everything and rebuild our careers and all our assets. And then 25 months ago, we said, enough on the student loan. We're sick of it. We need to get rid of it. And we went nuts. The first year we paid off $25,000, And then the last year we paid $66,000.
Amazing. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Okay, so you went through a career downturn and a reset of your whole lives, and following that is when the 25 months started.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting my story straight.
Yeah.
I got a degree, a bachelor's degree in the time because I couldn't do my job. So the VA paid for it, and I was like, what do I want to do that I love? So that's why I chose IT.
Good for you. That's
And
smart.
then,
Good choice.
I got a promotion, like a $20,000 promotion in 2017. And then we're like, we're barely paying on this debt, so let's pay. We make money. Let's pay the max.
Yeah.
And so that's when we kind of like, yeah, what are we doing?
Let's get that book back out now.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right. Cool. So you were in the military then?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And how'd you get injured?
Overseas, my back.
Oh yeah.
I just kind of messed my back up, so I had 3 back surgeries, 1 hip surgery.
Oh.
I have a service dog actually. He's at home. And so yeah, I was a mechanic, and that's what I was doing. I injured myself, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So VA said, "We'll pay for your degree." So I chose IT because I loved IT, and so I really
very
loved it.
wise. Very wise. Thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Very neat.
I want to point out something really quick here for folks that are listening. Lee had a physical change, and so he had to make a career change as a result of a physical thing. That's not something you picked. But that mechanical brain tied in beautifully to the IT, fixing problems, the way you can break stuff down. Is that right? It was a really nice, easy transition for you there.
Oh yeah, it's still technical and stuff. So
that's right.
It was just a different kind of technical.
Yeah, good for you, man. Great transition there.
Just the heaviest thing you have to lift is the keyboard, though.
Yeah.
That's good. I like it. That's smart, man. I love it. You guys are incredible. You're heroes.
Yeah.
How's it feel now that you're finally free?
I don't
Unbelievable,
know.
kind of still.
Still kind of new, so
Yeah.
maybe after we scream, we'll know. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just like, okay, we're just going to go continue. We're just like, nothing's changed. We need to do our savings. We need to save up for things. So we don't want to lose that momentum. We did, we went out to eat, we said, hey, we deserve, let's go out to eat, And so, yeah, and then we did that, and then we're just going to continue to go.
Yeah.
Moving on along, so.
Yeah, finish up baby step 3 now, get your emergency fund in place, and then become wealthy.
Oh, yeah.
Very well done. Good job, you guys. What do you tell people the secret to getting out of debt is?
I'd say the budget, communication, and prayer really works.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah, I would say just sticking to it. You can have a budget and you have your blueprints, but if you just put walls wherever you want, then nothing's going to matter. So you just got to stick to your budget. And so that's one of the key things. I notice people, they're like, oh yeah, we have a budget, and they just spend, and you just got to really keep to the budget.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's on paper, this is what we're going to do, and just keep them going.
Yeah.
Heather, you really focused on prayer for a moment. You really locked in pause there. What did you pray about specifically? What prayers were answered in this process?
Strength.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just intentionality, and just understanding that this is a season and that God has so much more planned for us as a family, and how much we can contribute now that we don't have this chain around our ankle anymore.
Wow, that'll preach.
I think our jobs too, because we were in a situation where we didn't know what we were going to eat. We had to go to the food market pantry to get some food sometimes.
Wow.
We were unemployed, and I just had the VA was paying me to get a degree. That was the only thing that really helped us. And so it's like, we thank the Lord every day for our jobs, our house, our cars, all these things.
Yeah.
And so it's just amazing how to reflect on that.
Amen. Very powerful. Good for you guys. Way to go. I'm so proud of you. Who are your biggest cheerleaders outside the 3 of you?
Well, I facilitate financial peace at church, so constantly doing that. We just wrapped up our 10th class.
Yeah, so you got to do it when you're leading it.
You got to do it.
Yeah, when you're leading it, that's ultimate accountability, right?
Right.
But the class is cheering you on too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So they know you're here today?
They do.
I love it.
And we've met so many friends through the class, and now they're in our small group because of that class, and then they become our best friends.
Yeah.
Because it's just this class that we taught, and so it's amazing how the Lord works in that way too.
Amen. Amen. Some of the very first people that I taught years ago with a bad suit and an overhead projector, I still stay in touch with them. It's pretty cool, and that was 30 years ago.
Awesome.
Way to go, you guys. Woohoo! Got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you. That's the next chapter in this story, to live like no one else, so now you can live and give like no one else. Leave that legacy. Well done. And an extra copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away. Sounds like you got lots of places you could possibly do that. And pay it forward, get somebody else involved, and that's good stuff. So congratulations. All right, Lee and Heather and Sophia from Indianapolis. $91,000 paid off in 25 months, making 143 to 171 recent raise. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Hey, three,
2, 1.
We're
debt-free!
That's how it's done. Interesting how much adversity they came through and how the entire time they're talking about, they're smiling.
Yes, absolutely.
There was no sour, not weaned on a pickle. It was like, yeah, we did that, and we did that, and we did that. And I'm like, my God.
Yeah.
And you're still smiling, you're smiling about it. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
It's a result of the sun comes out after the storm, and they're in the sun right now. And that feels really nice when you've been through the wind and the hail and the tornadoes and the hurricanes and all that to come out on the other side. It's sunny, and joy comes in the morning. That's what we see there.
Amen. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Philippians 4:6. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Elon Musk says, when something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Amen and amen. Good stuff. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Whitney's with us in Las Vegas. Hi, Whitney. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Thank you for taking my call. So I just had a question. So I'm debt-free besides my mortgage. I actually just bought a house. I contribute. I match my company's 401k, and I just started contributing to our IRA.
Good.
So I was wondering if you were familiar with or you know of the app Acorns. I've been also putting money into that, and I was just wondering your views on that, if that's a good, if you've heard anything about it, if you would suggest doing that or no.
Well, the premise is that it's small amounts that go in, correct?
Yeah, so it can round up connected to your bank account, but I also put in money. I'll a couple hundred, or if I have extra, I try to put it in. But is it something that would be good on? I feel like it is just like an S&P, right? It just follows the main market.
But you're not putting enough money in there that it matters. I mean, I've got a coffee cup, an old coffee cup that sits on my dresser, and I put the change out of my pocket in it. But it's not going to make me rich.
Right. But it's something that kind of grows.
No, it doesn't. It's not going to make me rich. It's just it's a coffee cup full of change. What makes me rich is what you're doing on the other stuff. When you're putting thousands of dollars in your 401k, in your Roth IRAs, not nickel and dime roundups.
Right. Okay. So it's almost just kind of just like
it's
another
a joke.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Because it's a small amount, and if you put in a small amount, even if it did really well, it's going to end up being a small amount. The only danger with it is it makes you feel like you're actually doing something.
Right.
And that's laughable.
So would you suggest getting with the Smart Investor Pro and then starting the mutual funds that you say?
Yeah, if you want to put more into investments, you need to do real investing and put a substantial amount in.
What would you say is like a substantial amount? I mean,
Well, I mean, you're putting 15% of your income away, and you're in baby step 4, right?
yes.
So you would not put more away now, other than kids' college, unless you have if you have a mortgage to pay off. Do you have a mortgage to pay off?
I have a mortgage, yes.
Okay. Then you need to be putting all extra nickels and dimes towards the mortgage above 15% of your income towards retirement.
Okay.
So let me tell you, and this is not just Dave Ramsey. So let's back up. Okay, there's a reason that I'm telling you that. And if you understand the reason, maybe it'll be helpful. Okay. We did the largest study, you probably heard me talk about it 1,000 times, ever done on millionaires in North America. Over 10,000 millionaires were surveyed. The typical plan that came out of that was the vast majority of them, they had two major components of becoming millionaires. They were investing steadily a large chunk of their income, like 15% as an example, into their 401ks and Roth IRAs. The second thing they did was they had a paid-for house. Those two items added together made up over a net worth of over $1 million for the vast majority. Over 80% of them followed that plan. And out of 10,000 of them that we interviewed, the number that said that they became millionaires because they saved nickels and dimes with Acorn was precisely zero.
Right. Okay. But did you say once that investing in your 401k, you should only go up to what they match? And then, do an IRA?
Yeah, you should do match first, Roth second, traditional third. Does your 401k have a Roth option?
Yes.
Okay, then you would do your 401k with Roth, take the match. Does your 401k have good mutual funds in it to select from?
That I don't know. I would have to look.
Okay. If they're good mutual funds, you max the whole thing out. And if that doesn't get you to 15%, then you can reach over into a Roth IRA in addition to get you up to 15% of your income. But the best thing you can get is a match. The next best thing you can get is tax-free growth, which is Roth. The next best thing is tax-deferred growth.
Okay.
So match beats Roth beats traditional.
Rock, paper,
okay.
scissors, right?
Exactly. That's the deal. So, take that match for sure. And then look at the mutual funds. If they're decent mutual funds, just load that 401k up. What is your income?
I'm in sales, so it varies, but 90 to 110.
Okay, you could be done with your 15% then in a 401k.
Okay, yeah.
You don't have to reach. You won't have to reach over to the Roth if your 401k has good options, because you can put 15,000. 401k allows up to 19,000 some change this year, so you're fine. Yeah, you can do it all right there. And I imagine you've got decent options in that 401k. Most of them do now. There's a few of them we run into are lousy mutual funds, but most people do a pretty good job of putting a decent selection in there. The 4 types we talk about, growth and income, aggressive growth. But you don't really need a side investment fund. You need to be throwing those side dollars at the mortgage. That's my point.
It's a distraction, Dave. It's good marketing. They've made people think, oh, this is really wise, and there's just not the ROI in it. It becomes a distraction.
Well, yeah, it's... if you plant a few kernels of corn, you're going to get not much corn.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you plant a few acorns, bada-bum, you're going to get a couple of trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you want a whole forest, boys and girls, okay.
You want the tree farm, you better plant a lot of them. Big money in tree farms, Dave.
Yeah, so I hear. Oh, I got a friend of mine that's mega wealthy. He bought tree farms years ago, told me I was an idiot for not doing it, and he is looking like a genius. He's growing gold bars out there right now. Deadgum lumber.
It's
prices.
not just a metaphor. It turns out there's actually real money.
They're gold bars with branches. I mean, they're just unbelievable. Lumber prices are through the freak.
My goodness.
His guys
Isn't that the truth?
Much. He was already a billionaire, and he is twice over now just because of those stupid trees. It's unbelievable. I'm so mad at him. I'm so proud of him, but he did make fun of me, and now he's really proven that he was right when he made fun of me. It's just, I'll never forget it. I'll give him a hard time at dinner the next time I see him.
Funny.
Michael is in Boston. Hey, Michael, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me on.
Sure. What's up?
So I have a question on tackling baby step 6. So I recently paid off about $50,000 of debt.
Way to go.
Thank you. I have $25,000 in my emergency fund, and I have close to 15% of my income since I can't do full 15 because I'll hit the 401k cap. And when I'm looking at Baby Step 6, my mortgage is like this massive thing since I just got it in 2019, and just the thought of putting everything in there would take me years to pay it off.
No,
so my question is,
what's your income?
I make $170.
Way to go. What's this mortgage?
Thank you. 408.
Oh, stop your whining, dude. You can do this. You could totally do this. You make $170,000.
But wouldn't you want to do some sort of sinking fund for unknown expenses, or would you?
No.
An unknown expense.
You make $170,000. You're a single guy. You're so awesome. Way to go, man.
Well, I do have a fiance.
Well, you okay? You're not. Is she gonna mess this up, or is she gonna work with you?
Oh, we're working together.
What does she make?
50.
Holy crap! You're gonna be making $250,000, and you're not even 30.
Yeah. So I guess then that's the answer. Then just throw it all.
Seriously,
in there and,
$100,000 a year in 4 years, you're done. This is not exactly overwhelming.
And then put everything in.
Then you'll be debt free, and you'll just be making $250,000 and become unbelievably wealthy and unbelievably generous. And if you don't do $100,000 a year and you only do $75,000, it's going to take you 5 years. Wah. Dude, you really got this. This is very, very, very doable. You're a stud. Act like it. You got this. Ken, good show.
Thank you, sir. Always fun.
James Childs, great show. Madison, great show. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Did you know you can listen to The Ramsey Show on your smart speaker? Just tell Alexa, Google Assistant, or Siri to play The Ramsey Show podcast. Check out all Ramsey Network shows on your smart speaker today.